got the first of many upgrades on it. The toolbox being one. Next, I got to space the tires out because the fenders are right up close to the tires. Get a tractor tread tire on that side. Probably a new tire for that side. But I'm gonna do an interesting little film for you guys. So, how to drive a D series. So, it will be fairly similar across most of the D series. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. So you got your one. Now this is the same shift pattern as my CA because you got one, and then all the way over this way and forwards is first, and then same fourth, and then over right about that's second, all the way up and back, and then right about there's reverse, and then third. And then of course you got your handy dandy little power director, or high-low, whatever you want to call it. Your throttle, your lift arms, and then Chalmers' famous traction booster, which I don't know if this one works on this tractor, but we've had it on the Bush Hog. Runs the Bush Hog just dandy. But anyways, so, and then down here is your PTO lever, which this is something somebody welded on here because the PTO lever ends right there on the early 57s. But as you can see, there ain't much room for my finger, so pretty easy. And then your clutch pedal on this side, and your two brakes, which these tractors are famous for having the oil seal go out and you get oil on your brakes, which these ones work beautiful. So, how I was always taught to drive them, the D series or these tractors in general, was put it in the gear you want with your hand clutch in neutral, because that is low range, all the way back is low, and then you got to push this button down. But low, neutral, high. Which this lever snaps pretty good, so it's doing pretty good. But anyways, so like I was saying, so the way we was taught to drive these tractors was pretty simple. You'd find your gear with your hand clutch in neutral. Obviously you got to push your clutch in and put it, I'm not actually going to shift it to gear, but put it in second gear. And then how we was taught is let the clutch out in, have the hand clutch in neutral, let your foot clutch out, push the button down, pull it back to low range, give it a little throttle, and then depending on, and then slap it into high range and throttle up. And then when you want to change a gear back to neutral, grab your gear, pick the gear you want, whether it's third, fourth, or reverse, or first, one of the ones on here, and then you just repeat that process. You don't have to go all the way back to low, but push the button down, get it into low, get it rolling in low, and then you can transfer to high. I've always done it that way, and that's the way we've always been told how to do it. Because I see a lot of people, they'll put it in low or high and then, let the clutch out, but I don't like the way that is, especially like if you're working in a barnyard or tight quarters, having it in that high or low, and you let that clutch out a little quick, these things will just, so that's just one of the things about these tractors, is that's how we've always done it, and that's how I always do it, whether it's right or wrong. That's just how I prefer to run them. And then, but the biggest thing with these tractors, which is I find hilarious, everyone that runs these, especially like my D17 or like a D19 or whatever, if they run a round baler with them, a round baler or any PTO equipment, apparently it's so difficult for everyone to use the hand clutch, which I don't know if it's just where I grew up on these tractors, that I just have it naturally to, when you come to a thick windrow, you either pull it out of low range, high range, and put it in either neutral and creep through the windrow, or pull it all the way back to low. and not push the clutch. I don't know if it's just weird that it comes so natural to me and other people it don't. I just know that it's natural to me and other people struggle and they always go for the clutch. And everyone always says, oh, they're impossible tractors to drive because they can't figure, they just have trouble debating, which I know I'm probably, but I prefer this system way better than any other system that was around at the time. Well, this is a 57, so the only other, you would have either had a straight, this in my opinion is way better for a lot of things, and I know a lot of people, and I like the hand clutch system for running the PTO way better than a 2-stage clutch or a live PTO. I think this system's better, way better than anything out there for this time period of tractor. I prefer this. That's why I like these old D series and the 100 series, because this, in my opinion, gets the job done. And I know there's going to be a few people that tell me, oh, this system's not better than this, that, and another thing, but it's my opinion, and I'm going to stick with my opinion. You can stick with your opinion. I like these tractors way much more than the other ones. I mean, I hands down will take a D series over a synchro John Deere or a international with a TA, even though I do want either a 756 or a 656, but we won't worry about that. But still, like I said, I can buy these tractors way cheaper than I can buy a 3020 John Deere or a 56 series or an 06 series international in my area. These, I mean, I paid $1,800 for this tractor versus a 656 gasser that was for sale in my area. They wanted $4,000 for. So that right there tells you why these tractors are so much better. I mean, it's only 38 horse, but well, yeah, 38, maybe 37, maybe. I know it's like 38 at the flywheel, maybe like 36 or 34 at the PTO. But again, like I said, I will take these tractors over any other brand in this area, because when it comes down to it, you're paying, you pick them up cheap, and they're not cheaply built. They're good, stout tractors. I mean, hell, that D17, we've had that for who knows how long. And that tractor, you know, everyone says that's way less horsepower than the Series 3, the Series 2, and the Series 1 D17s, but I think that thing's got a lot more horsepower to get up than, because that tractor's done a lot in its life, way more, so. But, like I said, I can tell you right now, you can pick these tractors up way cheaper than you can pick up a international or a Deere of the same size, because everyone seems to think red and green paint mean more money, which I guess I digress, and those people can continue to be Demerscadas. But yeah, and that was another thing I did. I went to Tractor Supply and bought a stabilizer arm, because I only had that one homemade one on it, and I wanted 2, so I put 2 on it. And I mean, what can I say? And the radiator was plugged solid with mud dauber's nest and hay chaff. Cleaned that out. It seems to be running cooler, but I think I'm gonna have to redo the distributor, do points, condenser, and cap and rotor, new spark plug wires. The spark plugs are practically brand new, but do that, and I'm gonna do a full service on it pretty soon. But yeah, and then another thing I'll add into this, so like I said with the hand clutch, you can't shift these tractors on the go. Believe me, you can, but you can't. I've seen people on all the Facebook groups I am in, they'll show off that they can shift. It's like, well, you're just ruining your transmission. And that's the problem with this tractor, because people get rough with them. So that's why 3rd and 4th are screwed up, because people get rough, and a lot of it is that the gears, I guess, I can't remember exactly, but something to do with the gears that were cut. Or they were cut too shallow, I think, so you can just flip them around and put them the other way. I can't remember the exact thing, but and then down here is your handy dandy choke rod. But yeah, that's basically how to operate a d14. But catch y'all on the next one.